Hey, what's up, you guys? Hey, everybody. I'm so excited to see you guys. I haven't went live in like a minute. I really missed you guys. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. What is up? Earth is school, you guys. We in this thing. Hey, come along, guys. So I am starting my lives again, my Earth is School lives, where I just want to come and connect with you guys. I don't know when I'll start my podcast. Maybe I'll start my podcast like tomorrow. Like that's how spontaneous I am. Like, maybe tomorrow. Maybe it starts tomorrow. Maybe I'll come back and I'll start my podcast tonight. I love it. I'm so grateful. I'm so appreciative to be able to live like this and just say, maybe tomorrow, just living with ease. Like, not like, oh, I must do this. I have to do this right now, or it's da-da-da-da-da, I did that. I lived that life. And I'm so grateful to be able to say this, that. And, there's a real balance to it because you still have to serve. This is what this is about, guys. Me coming and going live and doing my Earth is School podcast and even my posts and even my whole freaking brand and service. It's about serving. So if you're anything like me, you really just want an easy life and you don't want to have to do things, okay? But there is a balance, and I'm so grateful to be like in between that, to be able to be where I have my freedom and all that good stuff, and I'm going with ease, and I have my own schedule and stuff, and then still to know that I still have to serve. I still have to serve you guys because we're all one. We're all one, and I got important shit to share, okay? And and the truth is that if you have a gift, if you have a purpose, and especially if that gift, I don't really know if there's purposes that don't have to do with like benefiting other people in the world. Yeah, I don't think so. I think that everyone's purpose, it might feel super personal to you, but most definitely it's to serve humanity. So when you figure that out, then you learn that you have to do it. If you don't do it, you're going to be punished, yo. Like like life is going to show you that I can't run from this. You have to serve. So I'm so grateful to be able to do that. And I'm just like, okay, y'all, let me start doing my lives and my podcast and stuff again. Let me talk to you guys. I know my posts make a big difference, and I'm so grateful to hear y'all's responses. Like, you guys do not know when you message me and you tell me what my post is doing for you. Honestly, when I started like consistently talking about the brain and the power of thoughts and stuff, I really didn't think that it would make such a big difference. As far as like y'all really like doing what I'm suggesting and then seeing a difference. I just thought like that would only happen if I do like sessions with you guys, if I have you guys do the meditation and stuff. So I get messages from y'all all the time, and y'all really are like, yo, like my life is changing. Like I'm really thinking differently. And I'm just like, damn, just from my post, like that's amazing. So I'm filled with gratitude about that. But I'm here now. We just moved into a new city. We've been here for a little over a month, and I feel like it's time. It's time for me to show myself more on my lives and stuff. It was so good for me to take that time going from the city, Dakar, like super city life, and then coming here. The biggest reason why I wanted to move here is just to slow everything down. So I'm grateful for that, for being able to take the time to slow everything down. So today I wanted to talk about a topic. Let me cut this music, so I'm gonna pull up my topic that I have. it's like the same topic, right? Like if you notice, I talk about the same thing every day, just in different ways. But this is really just about controlling your mind, like your thoughts. I had some questions that people were sending me, and so I was like, let me just post the question. I made like a little post, so I'll share the post, and then I'll just go from there with explaining it further. Let me see. What is the post that I made today? And if you're in here, let me know. Let me know where you from, where you watching me from. Let me know if any of my posts are helping you specifically. Me speaking about the mind and stuff. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, wait, I did say that. Okay, before I start, if y'all see me like hitting myself, the mosquitoes in Sally, yo, next level, okay? Don't laugh at me because I have really been going head up with some of these mosquitoes. Like this stuff will turn you into a different person. I'm like, okay, don't even get me started on the mosquitoes, but I'm like, dang. And then also my face. Let me show you guys. I don't even have my soap in here, but I exfoliated my face today. As you can see, I mean, my face card never fails, you know, but people are always asking me what I put on my face. So I'm exfoliating. I exfoliate like at least twice a month. I try to exfoliate. And I always use Young Living. So today I exfoliated with citronella and what you call it? Where's my baby at? And frankincense. And on my lips is Young Living's lip balm. So I'm going to share the link below. So in case you want to purchase some of these amazing products, if you know me, then you know that I live and die by Young Living. You know that Young Living is so important to my life, to my livelihood, to my womanhood, to every aspect of my life, for my children. And so I'm constantly sharing the products that I use and how they help me. Let's see. Today, what did I even post today? Why is this? Okay. So what I said was, I said, it's so hard to see and feel good when things look bad. I think it's a real riddle you've solved to this world when you realize that you have to learn to master your thoughts. In order to do that, you have to practice. Our subconscious minds don't know what's real or what's not. So you can literally trick and manipulate your mind to help make you feel however you want to. You have to if you want to create the life you desire. So I actually was like, let me just go live and talk about the rest. There was more that I wanted to say. And then I was like, I'm not even going to share that because I just, y'all know how I am. Like I go with my intuition, and I know that my guides have been telling me like, girl, you're a writer, you're doing great, but you need to speak. Like the people need to hear this in real time. So, so literally in the middle of me making that post, I just cut off the half that I was going to post, and I was like, I'm just going to talk about it. So just breaking down what I said, right? It's so hard to see and feel good whenever things are bad. I think it's a real riddle that you've solved in this world when you realize that you have to master your mind. So one of the things that is so amazing to me is, oh my God, y'all gonna hear me say this 100 times. And if you're consistent with me, then you've already heard me say this. What the hell is the deal with us having brains and then not knowing anything about it? Like what is this? Like what? This feels like it's like the craziest phenomenon. Same thing with the body. I just can't believe that the thing that is housing our souls, right? Your soul is in the middle of your brain, right? The seat of the soul. If you ever read that book, the writer has been on the Oprah show like 27 times. And we know that's where our pineal gland is. You know, your brain is up here. Your whole body is running you, right? This is your house. And it's the thing that we know the least about. It's so weird. It's so crazy to me. Like, I feel like the first things that should have been taught in school is our minds and our bodies because it runs us. So regardless of being, on the right reading level, the same, math level and stuff. It's like, what about your brain? What about knowing that your thoughts really do create your reality? Like, this is some really important shit. Like, it has to do with your feelings and how you perceive things in the world and all that. So just going off of the first sentence is just about how hard it is to be able to see or feel good whenever things feel like they're going bad. You guys can most likely relate to that. Hey, what's up, Naturally Nats? Everybody gets this, right? This is not some new phenomenon. Every single human being knows how hard it is when you have your energy thrown off, when you've just gotten arguing with your partner, when your children are being problematic, when you're having family issues, anything. And then you also got to focus on other stuff like your business, your work. You might have to focus on your children, whatever. Maybe you're trying to manifest something and it's so hard. Like, it's literally hard for you to, or let's say finances. I have to mention finances, right? Having financial issues and stuff. Maybe you want to move and you're not, maybe the environment that you're in right now doesn't help. Like, whatever situation that you're feeling, it doesn't help with you trying to get out of that, right? Because that's your reality right now. Whatever the thing is, if it's a relationship or whatever, it literally doesn't matter. It's just really, really hard to focus on the thing that you want when you're in the middle of what you don't want, right? So what I was saying in that post was the importance of being able to master your mind. Like, there really is I just can't believe that this is not a thing. Like, the shock of this will probably never go away. I remember being in the church like 10 years ago, and I'll never forget this like substitute pastor that came and preached, and she mentioned something about like having control over your mind. And it's just something that you don't hear in school, you don't hear in the church. And it sparked the hell out of me. I was like, oh my God, like, you actually can have control over your thoughts. Why isn't anyone talking about this? We should actually care about taking control over our thoughts. Like I tell the kids, and well, this is what I have the kids repeat, is that your mind is your enemy until you make it your friend. So if you think about how crazy it is to not be able to control your thoughts, what's happening? What's happening? We're getting caught up in what's happening in our reality, right? We're getting caught up in the situation. We're getting caught up in whatever's going on at work, whatever's happening in our relationships. We're getting caught up in not having enough money in our bank accounts. We are having fear about our relationships. We're having fear about losing our jobs. I mean, I can go on and on. We're having fear about our children, and our minds are running rampant. Our minds will, like, do you notice that your mind can, like, just out the blue think of like some crazy shit, and you just be like if you're able to tap out of it for a second, you just like, why would I even go there? I mean, and women, we do this, like, we're pros. Women are pros at creating a scenario in our mind and making it more than what it actually is. I mean, we'll sit back and unconsciously imagine our kids being kidnapped and like how they would escape. Like some shit that we don't even ever want to happen. Our minds will just go there, and we'll be like, or we might think about a death of our family, like someone who's alive and well, but just like the day that they're gonna die or something. And we'll just like sit back and be like about to tear up and everything off of something that didn't even happen. Like, I know this is a thing because I'm a human being, I'm a woman, and I've been coaching people for the last 12 years. So I know that this is a thing, whether you realize it or not. This is what our minds are doing. But when do we take the time to really control our mind? Like, do we really understand that our minds are muscles? You know that your mind is a muscle, right? Just like your glutes, just like your whatever, these triceps, biceps, like all that, your abs, our brains is a literal muscle. So you really do have to exercise it and practice and work it out in order for you to be able to control it, so that you can stop the negative thoughts and you can replace those thoughts with good thoughts. So Natural Nat says, oh, let me highlight it. Says, yep, our mindset definitely determines our success or failure. We know this. Like, isn't it amazing that it's something that all of us know, but most of us, like, how many of you guys can tell me what the right side of your brain controls, or the left side, or where your frontal lobe is located, or your cerebellum? You know, like, what happens with your subconscious? How is the subconscious filtered from the conscious brain? Like, I mean, we should have had brain class like every single semester. Like, you know, it's the thing that's running you. Yes. So I'm excited to be obsessed with this subject. I've always been obsessed with psychology and like neuroscience. So just coming into my adulthood and just all this, I've just been like, this is like, if I wanted to go to all those years in school, I definitely would have been like a neuroscientist, because the phenomenon of having something that runs your life, that gives you your perspective, that changes your mood and everything, and then not knowing how to run it, it's just, it will always be the most amazing thing to me. So just think about that. Think about how little we know, how little our children know. Like, of course, they don't know that much because we don't know that much, right? So the cycle continues, and we're just running rampant with our mind. Like, we're in traffic with road rage, you know? Like, when I hear my friends, especially in the States, when I hear my friends when we're on the phone and we could be talking about something so good, and then it's like, hold on, and I'm like, oh my God, like, we don't even realize that little scenario that we know it's not a big deal. Like, you know, we just might do a little cussing and yelling in the moment, but that literally, whatever thoughts and feelings come from that, they go into the next scenario, and it's like a ripple effect. But if you don't control your mind, you don't control yourself. So you're just like, we're just living by default. Everyone is just living by default and just going, but we don't have to. So that's why we're here right now having this conversation. Okay. Hey, H. Bledsoe. H. Bledsoe says, yes, ma'am, I'm trying. I know, right? It's something that we get into adulthood and we're like, yo, I gotta really start like focusing on where my head is. Like, isn't that crazy? So I say, I talk about, you know, realizing that you have to master your thoughts. And in order to do this, you have to practice. I'm encouraging you guys, practice. Meditation. Yo, I want to like fight somebody when it comes to meditation. Like, it's so, I don't know who I would take up this quarrel with, but it's like, we have really been bamboozled. We really think that meditation is about setting down and clearing your mind and don't think of anything. Like, how can you even do that? Your mind, this is why it's important to know about the brain, because your mind is never not thinking. Even when you're asleep, that's what a dream is. Your mind is always going, whether you remember your dream or not. So it's like, we really been bamboozled with the meditation thing. Meditation is really a way to strengthen your brain, and you must do it. If you have a brain, you must meditate. And I'm not going to call it meditation for this purpose, because when it comes to labels and words, they really be putting us in a chokehold. So we're not going to call meditation, okay? Y'all going to hear me call it tapping in, all right? Unplugging from the 3D and plugging into source. You're going to hear me say stuff like that. When I'm doing the sessions with my clients, I don't call it meditation. If I do, I might say like alpha, theta mind meditation. I might get a little bit more deeper, but I can't say meditation, because then we all assume that it's this meditation where you're supposed to sit here and be really still, and you're supposed to just not think of anything and focus on your breath. And that's not it. That is really helpful when you want to calm down, but when you want to strengthen your brain muscle, you really need to practice focusing on one subject for a really long time. If you do this, just like I do in my sessions, the first session or two always is a struggle, because none of us, our brain muscle is weak. So if I tell you right now, sit here, we're going to sit here for 4 minutes, and I want you to think about nothing but a pineapple. I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and I want you to think about a pineapple. I want you to imagine this pineapple and all the details of this pineapple. And I guarantee you, we're not going to do this now, but I'm just kind of like setting you up for that. You can do it whenever we end. I guarantee you that in less than 2 minutes, your mind is going to go somewhere else, because it's not like, it doesn't take some special third eye spiritual person to be able to do this. We're all one. Okay. We all, just like we bleed the same blood, all that, like we all have to exercise our brains. So it's really hard to focus on one subject without thinking about what you're going to eat for lunch, or being distracted by that thing that's bothering you. Like it's really impossible until you do this enough times, until you strengthen your brain. So that's what tapping into source, that's a huge part of it. You'll never hear me say focus on your breath. All the things that you hear normally on like the YouTube meditation stuff. Yes, energy travels, right? Most definitely. It really does. So you have to do it, guys. You have to do it. You have to tap in. You must meditate. It's for your mental health. It's for your manifesting. It's for you to be able to create the life that you want. It's not about the other shit. It's not about the other stuff. You know, one thing that really got me into yoga was because I tried to get into meditation. This was like 11 years ago. And I couldn't get into it. I was like, yo, this is boring. Like, I'm tired of focusing on my breath. Like, what do they mean, stop your brain? And I realized years later, after getting into, like, yoga became like my flowing meditation, because I rather flow and move. And then I ended up finding a guy actually named Jose Silva. And Jose Silva is a Hispanic guy. I won't even go into details right now about Jose. I'll do a whole video about him. But he was like back in, I want to say the 60s. And Jose Silva had 12 kids. To make a long story short, he taught them all how to be psychic. He was a Hispanic guy that taught his whole community how to have this clairvoyant, claircognate skill. And at the time when ESP was a new thing, I think it was Howard University was studying it, and they were not believing that you could be psychic. And they were like, no, it's a gift. Like we already studied, you know, we already concluded that it's a gift. And Jose was like, nah, like I taught all my kids how to do this. It's not a gift. It's about strengthening your mind. And the meditation that Jose, taught, it was the same meditation that I used to do when I was a little girl. Some of you guys know this story, so just sit back and relax. And some of you guys don't. This is your first time hearing this. But when I was a little girl, I used to do this meditation where I would just tune out. A lot of your children, before the age 7 especially, they're doing this. It looks to us like a daydream. And you might even tell them, like, stop daydreaming. Oh, she or he is daydreaming all the time. But a lot of times they're really tuning out and or tapping in, right? They're tapping into source, and they're getting these downloads, and their brain is not stopping. They're not focusing on their breath, and they're not trying to clear their mind. They are clearing definitely like negative thoughts or anything, but they're really tapping into source, and they're getting these downloads about this world and what this place is. And this was happening to me since I was maybe as far back as I could remember, like age 4. And so Jose presented this type of meditation that he realized, or he figured out through psychology and through being a radio frequency, like a technician. And so long story short, I put these two things together, and I actually did this on my way here to Africa. And I honestly believe that it is the reason why, if you know my story, you know my story is crazy on how we got here. And I really believe that it's because I started to do this meditation consistently. And the reason why I was so comfortable doing it is because I was like, yo, I was doing this when I was a little girl without even knowing. I had never heard the word meditation. Even my brand, Earth is School, I came up with Earth is School when I was about 6 years old because I was doing this type of meditation. So this is why I don't want to use the word meditation, guys, because when you think that meditating is just about sitting down and clearing your mind and focusing on your breath, you don't get what you really can get out of it. When you realize that meditating is about unplugging from all the chaos around you, that it's about controlling your mind and your thoughts and really focusing on what you want in your life. Really, I guess you can say raising your vibration. And we're about to get into the vibrations in a second. But when you realize this, you start to not look at meditation like it's a task. You start to look at it like it's a gift, and it really is. So I just want to encourage you guys, please, it's not a game. Like, you're a human with a brain. You got to, when people are like, I don't know how, like sis said, I'm trying, you have to meditate. You just have to do it the right way. Don't do it the way that we're taught. And I'm going to do so many more lives like this. I'm even going to do meditation lives so you guys can see, or tapping in lives. The mind isn't just in our heads. It consists of the entire body. That's really good. That's a really good word. It definitely is. I mean, furthermore, you could say that it consists of everything, everywhere. Our consciousness is this world. This is how we created this world, with our consciousness. If you look at everything, this phone, this dress I have on, like everything, it all started with the mind. So just like our mind creates our reality, it really is. Your mind is going to either help you think that you are getting really sick. That's the whole point of doctors diagnosing you and giving you this title and making you feel like it's the end of the world, or you being like, I don't have to own this disease or this condition. Thank you for letting me know what it is, but this isn't mine. And you can literally do that. And this is not me just talking, you guys. I've done this myself. I've done this for other people. And you can pull up so many videos of people taking control over their body, their health, starting with their mind. So that's a really good word, Omar. Peace, 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 atmosphere. What's up? What's up? Thank you for tuning in. Yes. So, okay. Meditate, right? Tap in, guys. Tap into source. Let's see. So I said, in order for you to do this, to create the life that you want. So what I wanted to further discuss in that is how to practice your thoughts, which I kind of touched on already, right? We know, like, the main thing is, and this is even more important than meditating, is just you having that inner dialogue where you can maintain the vibration, where you can maintain, where you can be like, yo, what am I thinking right now? That's even more important than meditating. And I'll tell you guys why later. But the meditation is what helps you to strengthen your mind, your brain, and helps you to be able to not, basically to have that strength, pretty much is what meditation does, because you're sitting down. It's almost like school, like you're sitting down and you're really focusing on that one thing for a long time. So you can't really do that all the time when you're like driving and doing other stuff. It's really like quantum leaping whenever you're doing the meditation part. But what's more important than that is that you just have your inner dialogue, and that you're just checking yourself. Hey, what am I thinking? Okay, this is a really bad thought. This thought is not making me feel good. So let me replace this thought with something that feels good. Okay. So that's like the main thing as far as like how to practice controlling your mind, having your inner dialogue, catching your thoughts, and replacing those thoughts with good thoughts, with thoughts that make you feel good. Another thing that I put is being general. Okay. When you're trying to do this work, and you're going to notice this as you do it, right? You're going to notice that, let me put this banner back up. You're going to notice that when you're trying to transfer your negative thoughts into positive thoughts, you're going to notice the how hard it is. And you're going to notice that what you're trying to do, some people call it creating a grid, and you will basically start to say, okay, what I'm focusing on is thoughts that make me feel good, right? So I am so happy to have this house, or I'm so happy to have my new car, and I'm so excited that I'm getting closer to my business. And so you're literally putting your mind on these thoughts that are going to make you feel light. And the importance of, the important thing about doing this is being general. Try to stay as general as possible. If you get into too many details of this, it can backfire you. For example, let's say that money is the issue and you're trying to change your thoughts about what you see in your bank account. So this is tricking your mind. And that's also what I said in the post, is to manipulate and trick your mind, right? So you're literally like, money is flowing to me. Money comes easy. I always have money. And then all of a sudden, because you're in this thought of something that subconsciously that technically, relatively, you really don't have right now, you will start to think from a place of lack. And even with you saying that, this is what a lot of people do when they're doing affirmations. They're not really believing the affirmations. They're just saying them. So you got to try to stay as general as possible. You can even say something like, having money makes me feel good. Like, I feel so good when I have money, like when money is flowing. But you got to be real careful, because if your subconscious starts to think, yeah, but money is not flowing. Yeah, but my bank account says $2. Yeah, and this is what be going on in the back of your mind, and you're not actually creating more of what you want. You're not creating the thoughts that make you feel good. You're just like regurgitating or repeating information. I'm trying to make sure I can read y'all comments as I go instead of afterwards. Humbly Me, what's up? I built a home in Senegal. Yet there's some stagnation. I want to book a consultation. Please put me your link in the chat. Ooh, I will. Let me see how I could do that. Because if I do it here, then they're gonna take me out. Let me put the number. You can text me on my text app number. And yes, let's do a session. Let's remove any blockages, because that's a lot of times when things are in motion, and it ends up just being like a sudden halt. It's blockages, and it could be money blockages, it could be resentment, it could be something that doesn't even seem like it has anything to do with the thing that's at hand. And often that's what it is. It can be resentment, it can be guilt, it can also just be that time, maybe it has to do with acceptance. But I will have put my phone number in here for you guys, and then that way you guys can text the number. Let me get to my live on here. I should have put that in the banner. I wonder if I have that in the banners already. That's kind of crazy if I don't. You can definitely email me here, and then I'll put the my text now number, and you can just text me, we can set it up. So 605. You guys, do not text me if you don't want to do a session, okay? People be texting me. I'm like, you will not get a text message back. Texting me, asking me stuff that don't have nothing to do. What's this number? It's 207-605-7551. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I put the number in here. Let me make sure I got the right number. So yes, we're wanting to really be able to be general, because if you're not general, then you can easily go into thinking negative and you don't even know it. I feel like I see this so much. A lot of my clients, our first conversation is like, but I I am doing my affirmations. I'm writing things down. I'm doing it. But the reason why you see such a slow progress, or why it's not happening at all, is because you're doing it. You're doing like all the motions of it, but it's about how you really feel. Like, you can be saying all these things about what you want, but it doesn't mean that you're actually feeling that. It's such a big difference. Oh my God, it's such a big difference. And I'm so grateful to be able to explain it now, because it used to be so hard for me to explain. Like, I would be like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Everybody sees themselves. Everybody wants to be, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to have all these cars. I'm going to have my business. Da, da, da. But is that really what you believe, though? Like, do you really feel that inside of you? And the dead giveaway is how you're living every day, how you're feeling every day. Like, what are you getting up and doing every day? What are your thoughts every day? Because if your thoughts and your day-to-day activities don't match what you're saying that you're going to be in 5 to 10 years, there's some contrast there. There's some, not contradiction, but contrast. So, there's some aligning that needs to take place. Well, I act like I can't remember this number. It's 7551. I believe this is it, y'all. Let me go to my app and make sure. Let me know if you guys have any questions so far. I actually have a session to do in, like 20 minutes. So I'm going to get off of here in just a minute. Okay, I was right. 207-605-7551. This is the text app to book a session with me. D'accord. I don't know if I can highlight that. Okay. Bien sûr. Okay. So, pay attention to how you feel all day. Okay, so that's another thing I wrote, which I kind of already touched on. Just paying attention. That's just your inner dialogue. I read a post that said that neuroscientists concluded that less than 50, or I guess it was 50%, only 50, or which is half, right? Only half of us in the world have an inner dialogue. And this is amazing to me, because this is what I talk about all the time. Like, we're so focused on our kids being at the right reading levels and the right, math levels and stuff. But we have to really be teaching them about inner dialogues. I actually had a client yesterday, and I was talking about this. I was using the example of partners, of spouses having an argument. And a lot of times men really don't have an inner dialogue. A lot of times there's ego, right? All of us have ego, but men do tend to have more ego than women do. This is like, if you've ever read books like, what is it? Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, stuff like that, different facts that you can find about this, right? So I was giving her the example that a man can feel like guilt, like he can do something to his partner, maybe say something wrong or whatever, and he can feel guilt, and it can come out as anger because he's a man. So they use their hands and physical body, right? And sometimes even their voice whenever they're angry. And it can come out as anger. It can come out as something totally different than what it is. And you can take it in a different way because you're not aware of what it really is under the surface. A lot of times when we're having issues with our partners, with our friends, it's not even what we think is going on, is not even what's going on. It's just that we don't have the inner dialogue. So I was just using that as an example to that alarm is probably going to go off like every 5 minutes. Okay, so I was just using that as an example to one of my clients and explaining how if you don't have inner dialogue, then you can't say, okay, this is coming off like this, but what I'm really feeling is guilt. I'm really feeling hurt. Okay, I'm actually feeling some jealousy right now. These are normal feelings. These are normal feelings that we have, and that most of us, according to neuroscience, half of us are not hip to knowing that this is even going on. We don't have an inner dialogue. So I truly believe that practicing taking control over your mind and your thoughts is also practicing to, like, getting to know your inner dialogue, being able to say, okay, I am feeling like this, so let me not react right away because I'm actually having this feeling. Even though I'm explaining something different, I'm crying and yelling about something different, this is really what's going on inside of me. This is so important, y'all. Like it's so important. We're out here dealing with ourselves and dealing with each other, and we don't even know the feelings that we're really having. Like, things aren't even what they really look like. I mean, what they really feel like, because we don't have an inner dialogue. So that's another thing that I wrote down is just paying attention to how you feel all day. It's not one time a day. And that's why I said that doing this work is even more important than meditation. Constantly checking yourself all throughout the day. It's an all day thing. That's how you practice, right? That's how you get used to being able to check your inner dialogue and change your thoughts, taking control over your thoughts. That's the next thing I wrote, actually. I said checking your vibration is more important than meditation. So then why is this important? I said because our thoughts dictate our feelings. What we think is what we feel is what becomes our reality, right? So I think we all get this, right? I'm just going to break it down a little bit. But I feel like what I see a lot on social media when like gurus and stuff are talking, we put so much emphasis on what our thoughts do. Like, your thoughts create your reality. Your thoughts is your thoughts, it's your thoughts. This shit is so deep that it's not even your thoughts. It goes deeper than that. Your thoughts are what you have to control, because you can't control your feelings. You can't skip a step. Your thoughts dictate your feelings. So it's not really your thoughts that create your reality. It's actually your feelings. Ooh, it's actually the vibe, your vibration. And those things, and what that is dictated by your thoughts. So you have to take control over your thoughts, but it's important to know that that's because your feelings is what that's based off of. And your feelings is what actually creates the reality. Vibration, frequency. This is a vibrational place, and you and I are vibrational beings. So just like someone said in the comments, how energy transfers, right? We know this. This is scientific law. You know, the energy doesn't go away. It doesn't disappear or anything. It transfers. That's what this whole place is for us. It's literally energy. So when you have negative thoughts, when you have sad thoughts, mad thoughts, whatever, right? Thoughts of resentment, anger, and what's happening is it's changing your mood. And so your mood, which is really the hard thing, like that's a whole nother level of control, right? Of controlling your mood. You have to do that through your thoughts. And your mood is what is actually, that's the vibration that you're putting out. That's the frequency. So imagine yourself as a radio. This is like the best example that I give. Imagine that there is a radio and there's a station. You can be the radio, you can be the station. It doesn't really matter. But if you think about a radio and you think about how in order to listen, like you can't listen to like 105.3 and then you turn it to like 95.2. Like it has to match, right? Whatever station that you are turning it on the radio, that's what frequency that is going to come back. Like that's what you're going to get. So that is like one of the best examples that you'll get to how our feelings, our vibe, our frequency, our thoughts, a thought is a vibration. That is one of the best examples of how you can understand that it really does create our reality and how that actually works. Atmosphere says, as women, we feel a lot. The question is always, is it in harmony or is it attached to trauma? That's real. Like we definitely are feeling beings, not like men are not, but we know that women, and I think that has to do with where our mind goes. You know, I've even seen I read an article one time that said that men sleep more peacefully than women do. And my theory is because our minds are just going. And that has a lot to do with us being the womb keepers, keepers of the world, bringing life into this world. Even if you haven't, you have that ability. So you're so much more like connected to earth and what's going on. Like your intuition, all of us have intuition. We know this. But we also know that women, we have a different level. And if you have any intuition, if your intuition is high, if you're clairvoyant, claircognate, any of the cognitive clairvoyance, any of the clairs, it means that you're really sensitive. It means that you're really prone to having anxiety. There's actually a really good book by a lady named Pat Longo. It's called The Gift Beneath Your Anxiety. And this will explain a lot of what I'm saying here. But going off of what Atmosphere said is, yeah, like women, we feel really deep. So I think it just proves even more why it's important for us to understand this, to understand how our thoughts work and how we have to take control over them so that we are not feeling so much bad. I mean, wouldn't that mean that we're also creating a lot of what we don't want? And we're more powerful in doing it. So we especially have to be careful. So definitely understanding that it's not even your thoughts, it's deeper than that. It's your feelings. It's just that your feelings are controlled by your thoughts, and your thoughts are controlled by no one. If you're not taking control of them, you're just living by default. So hopefully this can, like, I know it is, because when people message me every day and tell me how my posts are making a difference, I'm like, yo, that's wild, because it's just a post. Like, I didn't think y'all was really gonna like do the exercises. So I'm gonna leave you guys with one. One of the good ways, again, your mind is a muscle, right? So you have to exercise it. So think of a subject, any subject, and you can, I like using fruit with the kids. You can use an apple. And if you just take the time, 5 minutes a day, you can leave your eyes open, you can close them, whatever, and just focus on that apple for as long as you can. Do this as soon as this live finishes and see how short it is. And keep doing it every day. You can do it multiple times a day. I promise you, every single time you do it, even if it doesn't feel like it right away, you're going to get better and better until all of a sudden, I know this is about to sound like cheesy and hippie, y'all. All of a sudden, you like become one with that apple, with that fruit. And it might feel weird in the beginning, but you are literally exercising. You're pumping up your brain. You're the muscle that is your brain. You're literally making it stronger. And it doesn't seem like these things connect, but they do. I mean, I do this all the time. I train people to do this. And I'm telling you that when you do these different techniques, these strategies that help you strengthen your brain, you start to take control. All of a sudden, your inner dialogue is open. Okay, sorry, there goes my alarm again. All of a sudden, your inner dialogue is open and you can hear your thoughts a lot more clear. So you're checking them a lot more often. You're able to transfer them into thoughts that you really want a lot quicker. It's amazing. Doing this means that your manifesting is going to happen faster and it's going to happen easier. We should not be stressing out to manifest. Like, stressing and trying, those are oxymorons when it comes to manifesting what we want. If you are stressed about manifesting, if you're trying and you're just like, oh my God, I just have to try, like, this means that you're not yet understanding how this is supposed to be with ease. Everything you want, it's already in your vortex. It's already in your etheric field. This is a vibrational place. So you damn near don't even have to say it out loud. These affirmations, writing things down, it's very powerful. That's where I started. And it is powerful because we don't know about this stuff. So in order to make things more of a reality to you, it's good to see it. But your brain, your thoughts already knows. Like, your higher self, God, whoever you believe in, already knows what you want. It's not something that even in the Bible, it really tells you that you don't have to beg, like, you just ask and you will receive it. So it's not supposed to be something that we're manifesting and we're trying really hard. It's just like for any of you guys that are into spells and stuff, that you're supposed to do a spell and then do away with it, not look back on it, not think about if it's going to work or anything. And I'm mentioning all these things because That's what this community is about. This is Earth is School. So you can be offended. You can be like, oh, well, I don't believe in that. But none of that matters here. We're all one. I don't care if you're a Christian, if you're Muslim, if you're atheist. It doesn't matter. Our brains are all really powerful. And what this place is a vibrational place. And it's still like, that's what matters, is your feelings. That's the only thing that matters. Perception is more important to overstand. Perception is so deep, yo. I have so many things to say about perception. I should do a whole video on perception. Have you heard of Brother Panic? Yes, I know Panic. I'm very familiar with Panic and Pharaoh and all those guys teaching. I think Panic is pretty solid. You know, Polite, all them brothers. What you call it? Is it Red Pill or something? I kind of put them all in the same, like, you know, teaching for our people and stuff, the conscious community. I think Panic talks a little bit more on like universal type stuff, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so that's the word, guys. I have to go. I have a session in like 10 minutes. I think that was all I wanted to mention. Do you guys have any last things that you want to say? Here is my number. You can text this number. Oh, what did I do with that? You can text this number if you want to book a session with me. If you are not familiar with what I do, I have lots of posts where I've posted reviews and stuff. In short, I change people's lives. I help people strengthen their mind and tap in. I help people get rid of money blockages and childhood blockages and all this kind of stuff that's stopping us from manifesting quickly. I show people how to heal themselves and how to rewire their brain and create the lives that we want. I'm living proof that this stuff works and that I'm not just talking. I've healed myself from physical illnesses, and I have accumulated funds and moved to a whole new country with no funds and did a whole bunch of amazing things based off of this right here, based off of what I'm teaching. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Look how fast an hour goes by. That's amazing. Yes. Okay. I would. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. The message went away. I look forward to hearing from you, Atmosphere. Thank you for tuning in. Can you find out what the Life Expo is? What the life? What? I'm sorry. Is it expectancy? The life expectancy. I don't know. Maybe you can Google that. I would imagine. I don't know. This is Africa. You know what I love about Africa is that they don't got numbers on stuff like that. They don't care about like like I tried to look up the suicide rate one time. It was really hard. It's not even a thing. Like it's so rare. But yeah, I wouldn't know the life expectancy, but I'm sure you can Google and you can kind of see. I mean, Google is not the best credited source. I mean, even colleges don't accept Google as a credited source. Google is ran by the government. You know, numbers are there for a purpose. So I wouldn't necessarily say go with that. But yeah, I can tell you that Google might be a good source. But I don't know, because Google is not always a good source. Oh, absolutely not. You see, look, at 59. Absolutely not. I mean, I would say too that it's kind of hard to say if like it will probably go off of country to country, but we know that Africa has some of the oldest people in the world. I think Asia has literally the oldest people in the world. That's where they are all eating goji berries. But nah, I have a friend whose father is 79? I think he's 79, 80. He has multiple wives. He's traveling. He just got back from the States. There's a lot of people that are well over 59 here. But that's the thing too, though. When you're looking up statistics for Africa, it's like, who's giving out the numbers? You know, like it's normally not Africans, and it's also it's normally very outdated. When I try to find numbers on like maternity and stuff like that, it seems to be pretty outdated. But I can guarantee you that it's more than 59, because I see too many people that are over 59 and they're still like moving around, you know, eating the cola nut and living real long. Okay, guys, that's it. Maybe I'll be back tomorrow. You guys can leave comments on my post. Let me know what you want me to talk about, what details you want me to go in when it comes to these subjects. I love you guys. Again, peace out. Thank you for rolling with a sister.